Hi, welcome in. We are back, Wizarding Wands and Mickey Ears, talking all things Disney and Universal vacation planning. We are excited to be here. Three of us are ready to chat all things getting ready for summer, updates on all of your favorite destinations, and as always, a little of everything in between. So I'm Catherine. I'm here with Christy and Jennifer. We are all travel agents with Mickey Travels and Let's Adventure Travel. And we love what we do, which is helping families.
And then she disappeared. So
that's interesting. Okay.
She's just had a day, but yeah, helping families plan their vacations, their family vacations, their couples vacations, all of that good stuff. So hopefully she'll be back soon. I'm in the process of sharing some of our details out here, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what's on your mind, Christy, but my mind is all about summer travel, what our plans are, what things are looking like, what my family wants to do, what I want to do, how do we get everybody together at the same place? So,
well, especially with kiddos your age, and my youngest, like trying to work around their schedules, like we definitely understand that as three super busy moms. Looks like Catherine's computer might have died.
there we go. No
Best
worries,
laid
no
plans
worries.
and all of that. So I am very ready for summer. I'm gonna say it's cold here right now, but notice I'm using my air quotes before you go. Is it really cold there? Illinois girl, is it really, but it's like just gloomy. And so I'm just ready for like sunshine and Disney and
yeah, we've had sun, but it's been in the 50s and the breeze has been really, really cold. So just uncomfortable. Standing outside, you can go for a walk with a jacket and all of that, but I'm ready for summer. I mean, 2 weeks from today, I will be in Disney World. And again, I've got some plans on what, I'm looking at doing when I'm there. Definitely want to get some video of the Crescent Lake resorts and the parks and of the new refurbished Boulder Ridge Studio Villa. But other than that, just trying to get a feel for, what folks want to see. And so if you've got any ideas on what you want to see as far as video on YouTube, let us know. So come on to our YouTube channel, leave a comment, or on this video right now, leave a comment on what you think you want to see from Disney World in a couple of weeks, or come on over to Facebook, Wizarding Wands and Mickey Ears group or page. Let us know what you want to see, because I'm looking for some guidance on things that folks want to see on YouTube, because I'll be there in a couple of weeks and I don't have much of an agenda. And I'm actually like giddy about that, because it's a rare day when I go to Disney World without an extensive list of too much to do with my time. Now, I'm sure in 2 weeks, I'm going to show up with too much to do and not enough time. But until then, I've got this really wonderful, hopeful feeling that I can show up.
For sure, because you're going to be able to ride Tron for the first time.
Yes.
And you're going to be able to enjoy Flower and Garden Festival going on at Epcot.
Yeah.
Ride Guardians, I'm sure, multiple times, knowing you.
Yeah, take advantage of some of the evening extra extended hours. They're no longer extra magic hours because they're not for all resorts, but Magic Kingdom has on the Wednesday night that I'll be there, they'll have the extended hours for a couple of hours. And so I've been looking at fireworks dessert parties by myself, but I don't know if I want to go by myself. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I mean, the extended hours, I'm just excited about that. I'm so excited to see Happily Ever After, the fireworks show at Magic Kingdom. Again, I've been waiting for that to come back. We've got a video on our YouTube channel, so if you're interested to see Happily Ever After, it's there. Enchantment is still there as well, so enjoy away. But yeah, I'm not fully sure. So if there are things you want to see, let me know. And I'll work on
I am excited that you were going, because that will get me through until we go almost a month after you get back. We of course will be at Walt Disney World for a couple days. We're going to do the after hours party at Hollywood Studios. I actually was supposed to buy
I love that.
That didn't happen. So my travel agent will get on that today and get our after hours ticket spot. Now that we have flights booked for our babysitters to fly here. So so we're going to do that the first night that we get there. So, be on the lookout for that. So that'll be June 21st, because I will for sure be sharing. I love all after hours, like
I do
whether it's
too.
after hours from staying, as a deluxe guest for Epcot and Magic Kingdom, or if it's an actual after hours party, like they're just so much fun.
I was thinking about, so there's the Hollywood Studios after hours parties on Wednesday when
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom has the extended hours one there.
Mm,
And I was still debating it. And I thought, no, I'm going to go to Magic. It's
yeah.
there versus paying for the Hollywood Studios after hours. But I love the Hollywood Studios after hours. So, I mean, who
Yeah.
knows? It still might happen. But man, there's just, I wish it was on a different day. I wish it was on a Thursday maybe, so I could do both.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure. I mean, there's just so much going on this summer that there are so many great deals. Like for people who have not made their summer plans yet, like don't think that you are out of time. Definitely reach out to one of us and we can help you, figure it out.
Right. And last minute, we can make that work. We have people all the time contact us. Obviously, the more lead time, especially if you're wanting some sit down dining reservations, those start booking 60 days out for Disney World. So it's nice to be outside that window, though. Jennifer was booking for her family, and I was booking for a client this morning for 4th of July week, and was really stunned that we could get their top. They wanted Ohana breakfast. They wanted the fireworks party on the 4th of July. I mean, like we got things that, we do our best. You're pretty magical, but it's a busy time. And that I was surprised by that we could get all of, and the times they really wanted.
Yeah.
I think that summer is going to be really slow this year, at least right now, based on, I've
Yeah.
just kind of been spot checking dining reservations and thinking about different things. And there's so much open. There's so much availability at the resorts. There's so much for dining. I mean, what was I looking at earlier today? There was Ohana breakfast open. There was Garden Grill open. Akershus, Princess Dining. And I'm
Wow.
sorry, Akershus, Princess Dining. I can't even say it right. In Epcot.
I was like,
Wide
oh, where's
open.
that?
I know, sorry.
Like, I never
Wide
say it
open end
right,
of
but I for
June.
sure was in.
Well, I know. So Ohana breakfast is hard to get, especially those early times, and they all were there. I mean, they were flying out again. We
Yeah,
have our
right.
strategies. That's something you get from us when you help. But I was surprised. So I think that says something about, again, and if you can, maybe you're thinking, right? I think for people I know too, and me, I was like, oh, June is so far away because this
Mhm.
year's been so crazy. And here we
Right.
are in May. You still have all of summer, especially if your kids don't go back to school until after Labor Day,
Right.
or maybe you're getting out of school like we do here, 3rd week of May. You can take a trip and find some good flights. And again, there's lots of destinations to choose from, but there's more availability.
Oh my gosh. Some of the pricing I was looking at. So I was looking at pricing. I've got a family of 6, but one of the kids is 1. So they're able to get into lodging, for a family of 5. So for example, Port Orleans French Quarter has the 5th sleeper. So I've got 2 queen beds, 5th sleeper. And I was seeing that for $250 a night, which,
Wow.
that rivals what Pop Century, a value resort, will
Right.
charge during some
Yeah.
time of the year. And, Port Orleans is a gorgeous, moderate resort. There's a ton there
love
to
those.
do. Those rooms are usually well over $300 a night.
Yeah.
So just the fact that I was seeing, when that popped up, I thought, oh, wow, with a discount, but
Yeah.
that
Right.
is incredible. That's a,
Yeah.
really great deal because that gives you the 5th sleeper. But more than that, you've got your transportation to the parks already included. You've got your early park entry already included for any days that you've got, park tickets. You have all of the amenities at the resort. So the wonderful pool, the activities at the pool. So you've got, what else is there? They've got Surrey bikes. They've got, fishing, not that I go fishing, but
Easy access to
there's
Disney
so much.
Springs.
They've got carriage
Yeah.
rides. It's a gorgeous resort with ton. You've got Yeehaw Bob, who performs at the River Roost Lounge several times a night. Incredible free entertainment. And so I just couldn't believe the pricing there over the
Well,
summer.
and some of the deluxe pricing that we're seeing is actually moderate pricing. You know, it's
Right.
crazy. So for people who are wanting to get those extra hours for Epcot and Magic Kingdom on the days that they have extended evening hours, because I still also want to call them extra magic hours. You know, there's some really great deals out there. I mean, of course, we are all Animal Kingdom Lodge lovers. Like, how can you not? It's just gorgeous. And there's some incredible rates for it for summer.
Well, I mean, I'll be there over the summer, so
Yeah.
so I'm there already.
Except you're not going to be there this time.
Yeah, I'm going end of, well, we've got a 3-way
for the family, yeah.
with the family in August. So we're doing just a couple of nights at Art of Animation because we just have to get back to Art of Animation for a couple of days. And then we'll have a 1-bedroom actually at Jumbo, Animal Kingdom Lodge Jumbo House. And then my husband and my older daughter go back because she has school starting earlier, but my younger daughter and I are sticking around and heading to the Riviera here for a few nights. So
nice.
We're doing all the fun stuff. But even when I've been looking at Disneyland, so I know Paradise Pier Resort is under construction to become Pixar Place Hotel. So there's a lot that's happening there. But the fact that some of that pricing is coming out so low, it's rivaling the Good Neighbor hotels. So like you could stay at a Best Western or you could stay at a Disneyland Resort hotel and be right there next to the parks, super close. And so even if, you know, the Pixar Place / Paradise Pier pool is not open, they are shuttling folks over to the Disneyland hotel. So you can use those pools, providing the transportation, and it's right there, super close walk.
Right.
I feel like that some of those deals are fantastic.
Yeah, I pulled some Disneyland and specifically Paradise Pier because that's what the client wanted the other night. And the rate was like $240 a night. I was like,
unreal, unheard of, and you'll never see it again.
Yeah.
Like,
right. Yeah. Essentially, once everything's done, like that resort is going to be so much fun. I am so looking forward to taking my youngest, who is a huge Toy Story fan, really like any Pixar movie, but Toy Story is his absolute favorite. So I am looking forward to our next Disneyland family resort once it's all completed.
Well, that's
We
another
will be back
place
in
too where
January,
I've been finding a lot of last minute character dining. So Goofy's Kitchen is in Disneyland Hotel, and then Storytellers, Mickey's Adventure Breakfast at Storytellers, which is lovely. You know, Goofy's Kitchen, not necessarily my favorite, but Storytellers is wonderful, and they had a ton of availability end of May and June. Unreal availability. So folks are just not looking at those things for summer or thinking something else for summer. I don't know. But, you know, if you're thinking, well, Florida's too hot, look at LA. LA temps are very different, a lot drier. So, I mean, worth a trip. You still get your Disney in, an incredible Disney. I mean, California Adventure Park is one of my favorite parks anywhere. I love it. I mean, I know people like the nostalgia of Disneyland, but I love California Adventure Park. So definitely worth a visit. And if you're, you know, allergic to Florida summer temperatures, then LA might just be, you know, the next best thing.
Well, and then carrying on with our summer theme, of course, Disney Cruise Line just started their 25th anniversary sailings yesterday. Like, I'm scoping out the merch and the treats. I'm like, I saw that Spirit jersey, like the actual picture of, you know, one today, like real life picture, as opposed to like not real life picture.
From someone you know, yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need that. So I like told my husband today, just so you know, like I'm gonna need to buy 2 Spirit jerseys on the ship. And he goes, oh, that's it. I'm like, now you know he said that sarcastically, but I need the one that says fantasy to go with my one that says the wish. My plan is to have all 5, so like have to have that. But that 25th anniversary, that teal color is just like super pretty, and the snacks look amazing.
I know. So what do you think of the change in the check-in date? So the Disney Cruise Line has had online check-in when you sign your cruise contract and check in for your sailing 30 days in advance of embarkation. And now they've changed it based on castaway status. And so I think folks who sailed 1 to 4 times are able to check in 33 days in advance. That's silver castaway, and then gold castaway, 5 to 9 can check in. What is
2
it?
days before that?
35,
Yeah.
35, and then platinum is 38. Pearl and concierge is 40. Maybe, what do you think about that? What's your take on it?
Well, I like perks, right? Because repeat people like to feel appreciated for the fact that they're repeat people. I'm also hoping that it helps with the people that think that you have to do check-in immediately at midnight.
Right.
And just like any computer system, like the bog down that kind of happens frequently then. So I am hoping that it helps with that. I think first time people may be concerned that it's another thing that they're not gonna get, like first pick of, kind of thing. But my personal opinion is whether you board first or whether you board last, like it's really such a quick time that you probably are not going to miss out on anything, in those hours anyway. And then if that's important to you, then maybe there's ways of, depending on what port you're going out of,
Right. Well, I think Disney creates this scarcity model where everyone thinks that everything has to be done instantly, the window when it opens. So I've got so many clients who think I have to buy my Genie Plus right away at midnight because that's when it opens. And that's not the case. I mean, 6:45 in the morning, because I can start, picking my lightning lanes at 7. I set the alarm for 6:45. I'm groggy. I just look at it, buy my Genie Plus. It's not going to sell out. I mean, at least right now. The same thing with online check-in. The system's been melting down at midnight because that's the first time that you can access it or have been able to access it. And it really hasn't made too much of a difference whether I do it first thing at midnight or first thing in the morning the next day. And so I'm really hoping that, spreading those days out will make a bit of a difference over when folks feel like they have to complete that online check-in, because there are some things that happen. So midnight, 30 days in advance, I think, is when we're still able to pick the Royal Gathering, which is the princess meet and greet, at least from what I can tell.
So my June sailing still says that, but nothing has changed for my September sailing, including my check-in date.
Okay.
And I've heard rumors that Disney call center cast members are saying that it will be changing as well. But of course, I don't believe anything until I see it.
I know
see it in writing, some way. So I will be keeping an eye though on my September cruise, for various reasons. But
I think it's interesting that we've had no official announcement. This is I feel like it's really the only time that something has changed that's fairly significant, where we've had zero official announcement. This is all anecdotal, all from folks over the phone, but none of us have gotten contact from Disney Cruise Line saying, here's what we're doing going forward.
Yeah. Well, it was really weird because I put it on my calendar, right? Because not only am I the travel agent, I am also a person traveling. So I had it on my calendar. So when I saw you post, I was like, wait, hang on. So I pull up the app and I pull up my calendar because I'm like, wait, I know it was that day. So I pulled it up on my calendar. Yep, that's the day it's on my calendar. But yeah, I pulled up the app and it was 3 days before that because I'm silver, right? So I was like, okay. But if you were somebody that didn't have an us, right? So another reason why you would, and you had already put it on your calendar, it would be fine. You would still be doing online check-in,
right?
3 days later. So no big deal. It's not like you're not going to get to board the boat or anything like that. You have, plenty of time. You don't have to do it that day. You have plenty of time to do it. but it just would have been surprising. And for some people it was surprising because they could log in and do their online check-in already.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely odd.
Just interesting. Interesting. And I don't have a ceiling on the calendar officially yet, which hurts.
you're
It's been a long
stocking
time.
new shit.
Because I'm stocking the treasure.
It's coming.
I know. And we're gonna spend 3 times as much as we probably should on that. Because I'm just anticipating that's where pricing will land. Peak summer when my kids will be able to travel next summer. So, but it hurts to think about that. But yeah, I don't want to book anything else because I'm just anticipating that this is what we're gonna do. So it hurts. It's been a long time since I haven't had 1 or 2 sailings kind of pending. So
I'm ready. I'm ready for that third. So I don't think I will make it off the first one before having a placeholder at least.
I have a couple of placeholders pending. I'm ready to use them. I just want those sailings to be announced.
Well, do you want to talk about placeholders for people who don't know what that?
Let's do that.
Yeah. So when you sail with Disney Cruise Line, you have the opportunity to put down a placeholder, which is basically a $250 deposit toward a future sailing within 2 calendar years of the moment that you put that placeholder down. And that $250 deposit on most sailings will get you 10% off your cruise fare. And then if the sailing is 7 nights or more, you also pay half the deposit. So instead of paying the 20% deposit, you only pay the 10% deposit. And the $250 goes toward your deposit amount. And so if you're planning, further out for a sailing, especially, if you're looking at the best possible deal going forward, putting down that placeholder will get you 10% off just about any sailing going forward. But then again, if it's a longer sailing, then you also don't have to put down the full deposit. You only put down half of what you would normally be putting down. So it just helps to make it more affordable. It helps to pay it off a little bit more incrementally. But the nice thing about placeholders is so you've got the 24 months. And after those 24 months, if you don't use it, it automatically is refunded to the card that you use to pay for it. So if you forget about it, if you don't use that deposit, if you can't use that deposit, you can always call and cancel. So you can always call and say, I don't really want this placeholder anymore. Can I have my $250 back? Or if you don't use it and you totally forget about it, it still automatically reverts to being a refund if you don't use it in 2 years. So it's a win-win. I never get off of a Disney cruise without putting down a placeholder.
Say that is, of course, we are all Disney lovers. Of course, we can help you with so much more than that. And I just booked friends on their next Royal Caribbean, and Royal Caribbean does not have very many deposits that are fully refundable. And they have a change fee for every single one of their cruises, so trying to book as far out as you can, get the best deal, which of course is the same for any cruise line, or at least any of the ones that I have learned about, that you there's no flexibility like that without paying for it, right? So that's kind of crazy. So that's definitely one of the perks of Disney, like whether you're talking, Disney Cruise Line, Disney World, Disneyland, life happens, and sometimes you can just, reschedule to another time, but sometimes you just can't. And, having that 100% refund is sure nice if you need it.
I know. And cruises, I think we get really used to Disney World and Disneyland, which have incredibly flexible refund policies. But, in relation to other cruise lines, in relation to, potentially booking Disney through other vendors. So sometimes folks are looking for discount vendors. Those discount vendors don't follow the same cancellation deadlines as if you were to work with us, an official earmarked Disney planning service versus, a discount service. You might have instant cancellations fees. So be very careful if you're booking Disney through, an Expedia or a Priceline or a Costco or something like that, because they will, in many, many cases, have non-refundable deposits right away. And that's not Disney. That's another vendor. So if you're booking through us, your cancellation fees are Disney cancellation fees. All payments that we submit go through directly through Disney. You see Disney on your credit card statement. You don't see Jennifer McCormick, Mickey Travels, on your credit card statement. And so that lets you know that you are going straight through Disney. You've got all the protections within, booking through Disney with those cancellation fees and modification options and things like that, or lack of cancellation fees, I should say. So it's really important to know that too when you're looking at pricing and trips. And I didn't know that going in. I booked everything separately on our first Disney trip. I booked my tickets separately from my hotel. I didn't understand, the value of a package and putting down a $200 deposit that was refundable. What? Like, whoever thought a $200 deposit on a package would be refundable versus tickets, which are completely non-refundable from the moment that you submit that payment. So there's a lot to consider when, looking at those trips.
Well, that's another great perk of us, right? Is we can talk you through the options. Sometimes for some people, like, that is the right thing, to do for their circumstances and whatever. But we let you know, like, these are the options. And if you go with this one, like, these are the cancellation fees and, when they start and all that kind of stuff, and vice versa then versus tickets and room and all that.
Yeah, and that fine print is really important. And again, unfortunately, you see some cases where people don't figure that out until maybe they're checking in. And we hear these stories a lot, not just our agents are well trained and everything, but we're in lots of travel agent groups and we see it where someone shows up at a front desk and because they booked a certain part, we can't help them or we can't even advise because of kind of stuck. So there's definitely, you want to do your research. Sometimes it looks too good to be true. But the nice thing with the Disney products and Disney Cruise Line, I mean, even this week, since then in the past week, there was a delay with the ship getting in to Castaway. Those things happen. That your itinerary could change due to weather, and that's just a risk you take, just like if you go to Disneyland and it pours or something like that. But the fact that Disney Cruise Line gave very nice perks to those folks that were on board, really, I think, kind of exceptional. And so I think Disney Cruise Line really does take care of its, and we saw that when if you watch us, we were in November, we were delayed boarding and they tried to make up for it as much as they could. They did. So something.
Right. Well, they kept us in the loop and took care of us, and we'd check in, and there was always someone there who would say, here's what we know right now. And they didn't know. I mean, there was a hurricane. Mm-hmm. They're doing the best they can. I mean, Disney Cruise Line isn't physically dredging out the port. That's a port authority doing that. But they were keeping us posted on what was going on and when we could get there and, what everything looked like. And they did incredible work.
Well, and I think with that too, I mean, certainly we're here to help. It's all free. You may have decided to book on your own or you're already booked. I mean, we can't highly recommend Disney Cruise Line transportation as well. And I think that was another thing that we saw truly because of the delays, that we didn't have to worry about rebooking anything. We didn't have to be rescheduling something. We didn't have to hope that whatever car service could still accommodate us. So the fact that we got updates, we got to go off and explore and come back and check in again. Again, you get what you pay for, but that peace of mind was so nice. I mean, well,
it wasn't that much more. I mean, what? The Disney Cruise Line transfers, at least between Disney World or Orlando International Airport and Port Canaveral, are $39 each way. Mm-hmm. It's not, an expensive trip, and $39 per person. Sure, if you multiply that times a family, that's not a small amount of money, but it's not that much more than you would spend on private transfers. It's probably about the same as you would spend on private transfers, but we weren't stuck at port, hours and hours before, we could, board the ship. We had all the information that we needed to make some educated decisions on what to do with our day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it definitely made me a huge lover of Disney Cruise Line transportation just because of the excellent job that they did that day with the little, knowledge that they were getting, because it was a hurricane, right? And the port was closed, for the longest time. And then it was what ships are going to be able to get in. And then obviously there was also a medical emergency like going on. So there were like just so many things that really they could have just been like, we're skipping, like tell all those people, sorry, not sorry. You know, I mean, because again, it's a hurricane, like you can't control that.
Right.
But you know, we were just so glad to get on that dang ship, that's for sure. And they still like did dinner, even though we were boarding like at the time that first seating was starting, you know, and they still fed everybody. And like we had second seating, of course, and I didn't feel like we were rushing through it or anything like that. Like
And you could tell they were doing everything they could to accommodate everyone who normally would have had the early seating. They found spaces for them. They had to wait a little bit in some cases and not in others, you know, for just open tables, but they really did the best they could to accommodate folks. But one thing I do think it's important to note though, is that when it comes to any cruise line, so not just Disney Cruise Line, you a lot of times, you know, you'll book based on the available ports, based on some of those port excursions. It's so important to know that as part of the cruise contract, any of that can change for any number of reasons, because the number one priority is everyone's safety. So if it's weather, if it's mechanical, if someone on the ship has a medical emergency and they have to quickly get to a closer port or a place where someone can be airlifted off, that is the number one priority of that ship. Even if that means missing your port, even if that means missing an excursion, you know, if excursions only have, you know, one person sign up for them, they might not happen. So that, you know, part of your contract of carriage, part of your contract with the cruise line is an understanding that, I mean, ports can be changed, ports can be canceled. Now, at the same time, cruise lines do everything that they can to accommodate you, to make sure that you are feeling like you are getting the best possible experience and having additional things happening, you know, on the ship. So you're entertained and well taken care of. But I think I see that in a lot of chat groups and a lot of other places, that there's this vitriol against the cruise line when any number of these things happen. You know, I've seen it when there have been medical emergencies and stuff like that. And they're doing everything they can to take care of everybody on that ship. That's the most important thing. And so if it's weather or mechanical or medical emergency, that's always going to trump that port, you know, unfortunately. But you're safe and you're entertained and you still have all the food you could possibly imagine. And, I mean, in this case with the Wish, when they had that difficulty, they even gave folks, what was it, $100 onboard credit for that day. So each stateroom got $100 onboard credit and 20% off a future sailing within the next 2 years, which is huge. Disney does not do that very often. That's really rare. Oh, well, most cruise lines don't do that. Yeah. So that's incredibly rare. But just understanding that, you know, you're on the ship, you know, and of course they want to provide that service, and of course they want to get you to your ports, but there are other things that sometimes happen that that will circumvent that, you know, that goal. So,
well, and I definitely think they do a fantastic job of, when those things happen, like adding additional things that, you know, weren't even scheduled. I know, like on that Wish cruise, you know, they were adding extra trivias, you know, they were, you know, more characters were coming out, you know, like that's so great that, you know, they're adjusting on the fly too. So they're trying to make like the best experience for everybody, even when unfortunate things, you know, like that do happen.
That's just like in the resorts, when, you know, the few times when they've had to close or delay opening for hurricanes or other weather events. There were, you know, when we were at the Contemporary, they had a character dance party. They had an entire day worth of, you know, agenda items that they would not have had that day, even though the parks opened. I want to say at 11 or noon that day. They had the entire day scheduled at the resorts with all kinds of extra activities to take part in, just in case you decided it wasn't worth your time and your ticket to go to the parks that day if you couldn't spend the whole day in the parks. And so I just feel like they go above and beyond to make sure that everyone feels like they're getting, you know, value for that experience. And of course, I'm a Disney fan, so I'm going to think that, but also I'm going to notice the fact that this doesn't happen. You don't have character dance parties at the, like, that doesn't, this is rare. So
well, and I think that's, you know, you have us, and we're so lucky to be part of an agency with so many agents who are, if we're not in the parks, someone is giving us
Right.
updates and giving advice and things like that. And we lean on each other a lot. I had a client the other day who was really, the husband was really concerned about getting seasick and where the placement was. So, talking that through, but also we can talk to the cast members and really get that best advice or get a feel on what would be best. And it was sweet. I called on Sunday and my oldest is working on his Eagle Scout project. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm like in a field talking to you. And he was like, that is awesome. He asked me all these questions. I mean, they really do care. It's not just making the sale. They really care what you said. You tell him everyone from Disney Cruise Line is so excited. I'm like tearing up. I get off and Jack loves Disney, but by hour 6, he was like, nothing was really making him excited. So I was like, oh, Ethan said hello. But I mean, they're going to be really helpful as well, but also guiding. I mean, we know a lot. We're continually learning. That's why we go to the parks. That's why Jennifer's going to get to go to this amazing trip in August and learn more. But we lean on this great group who we have people in the parks all the time. So we are getting real-time information as well, which is really exciting to share.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's just having, a pulse on what's happening. So I don't announce every time I see something going on in the parks or, the cruise line, because sometimes it's much ado about nothing. And so you see people, I don't know, posting in other groups and lots of speculation and rumors run rampant when you're like, oh, it was nothing. It was really nothing.
Yeah. And I think that's why if you follow our Facebook page, we will only put things in there that we really think are pertinent, but also we know are real. That's really important to us. And also the videos that we're putting out all the time, really making sure it's things that'll help you. Maybe you're not planning a vacation or you're planning one in 5 years or something. You can go there and escape as well, or put it on in the background, and maybe the weather's not amazing where you are, those kind of things. So.
And sometimes weather isn't amazing in the pictures either.
Like I was watching, again, I had gone back to look at a part in your Disneyland walkabout, Disneyland Paris, excuse me, walkabout one the other day. And I was just like, is it raining on? Like,
We've been there. I mean, I think we can say we've been in the parks and the cruise, like in all kinds of weather. So when we say like, bring that poncho or put that poncho on and still go out. I mean, we had the best day when we went to Disney Springs before. So I mean, it was crazy. It was fun.
It would have been better if my Uber driver had dropped me off in the right spot. It would have been a little less fun, but it was fantastic. So
that's true. It's true. So we had the best time. So you can always, when you're on vacation, you can always make the most of it. But I think especially with Disney and Universal, that there is so much that you can still get to and enjoy, and they're gonna take care of you, which is wonderful.
I know. Well, I was talking to someone just a few days ago. I don't even remember when it was. May have even been yesterday, about September, saying, okay, this is a great time to go, right? And I said, well, it's going to be hot and wet. And someone said, well, it's hurricane season too. And I'm like, well, May through November is hurricane season.
Yeah.
So you don't know. I mean, but pack your poncho and go, because September, low crowds, great time. Like you could go in July, which is still, I think, a really nice time to go, but September, same weather and half the people.
And I also think this year has been so crazy with weather. We all talk, all the time,
right?
That it's been so unusual. It's hard to say. I mean, the summer might be warmer. I mean, it's 32 here today. I'm gonna have to go dig out my winter clothes and it's pouring rain. So the summer, you just don't know, but you also, just like any vacation, as long as you're prepared, you'll be fine. I mean, the worst is just not to have those options, but to be able to ask us, okay, this is what I'm thinking. We're going to be really honest with you.
Right.
Say, here's what we think. And then you make the best decision for your group too.
Yeah.
I know. Well, someone was like, so they looked at this whole packing list. They're like, what do I really need? And I'm like, here's what I always bring with me: poncho, wallet, my daughter's EpiPens, a granola bar, some snacks, some cash, a magic band or whatever. And then, my phone, my camera, but it's really all about the poncho. It's all about having some cash to buy what I need, as long as I've got a drawstring.
You're a light packer.
I try to pack as light as possible because I always feel like I'm buying something, while I'm there.
I'm like a pack mule. Like I miss the days of a stroller.
But the poncho, it never fails. You look at the weather, it says it's not going to rain. Doesn't matter what time of year, January,
Yeah.
Summer, whatever.
Christmas.
If I don't bring a poncho, it's raining that day.
Yeah.
Well, and isn't
So-
that
I
like if you don't have it, it'll happen. That's why I always
Yes.
say,
Yeah.
like, if you
I was
pack
just
it,
gonna
you're
say
be
that.
fine.
Like, I have decided that it will rain regardless if I don't have it.
Yes.
Because when we were there at Christmas, it's supposed like there's no rain in the forecast, not even like a 5%, like nothing. And we go to Epcot for a candlelight processional because my oldest daughter was singing in it, and it starts raining, and I'm like, what? Now, obviously, my son had a jacket on. I had a Spirit jersey on, no surprise there, right? My husband has a hat on. My other daughter has a scarf, and then there's just me. So I'm like, go buy a hat, and my husband's like ball caps aren't really my thing. So he was like, "You're gonna buy a hat? Sit in the rain? Either that, I'm gonna buy another Disney poncho." Like, there's a reason that we have a whole bunch of them when we have, with all of our kids at 6, now we're 8. But anyway, there's a reason we have so many Disney ponchos, and it's because it will rain the day that I do not take them. Where if I take them and tote them around all day, then it will not rain.
You know
Right.
what? The one thing I don't carry with me usually is a refillable water bottle. Because
I
of the
have
fact
started
that
doing that.
Yeah,
but
same.
you can always get a cup of water. So I might
Yeah.
bring a water bottle. So I might just have like a plastic water bottle that I purchased, and I might refill it. But I don't love the refillable. I don't like the tap water flavor and the filtered water from the gift shops or the quick service restaurants or Starbucks, where they will give you a venti or Trenta, ice water is so much better. And so
Yeah.
I will wait in line for that better tasting water than I will get water from a water fountain.
I don't mind.
Yeah,
I
I'm kind of a water snob myself too, but I've realized that if I take like a flavor packet to put in it, that I don't notice it as bad. So I
That's
usually
so
have
true.
the rehydrating ones in there, so then I don't notice it. So pro tip, put that on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
Well, we have
take-
not done a bag reveal in a while, so we'll have to put that on our schedule.
Yeah.
Gotta-
I just have
Yeah,
so little
absolutely.
in my
I
bag.
would like to
Yeah,
see the difference between the three of
can
our
say
bags.
goals, and then I can it'll take the whole episode. Just-
So, a lot of times I'm walking around with a gimbal. Those suckers are heavy, and
They
sometimes the
are heavy,
GoPro.
but that's not
Yeah.
most people aren't doing that. Yeah.
I know. So, I'm not mentioning that because that's a whole lot more that takes up a lot more space.
A lot of room.
Yeah.
I always have like a Ziploc bag
Yes.
because there's always something I want to put in a Ziploc bag. So, if it's raining or if I want some park maps that aren't going to get destroyed, or, I buy something and I want to keep it, dry or not. Even against my back when it's hot, my backpack gets sweaty. My my drawstring bag can get sweaty, and so I always have, a gallon Ziploc bag in there too. So
Same.
I'm not a
Because you never
pen.
know, maybe you'll eat a snack and not eat the whole thing, or maybe you decide you didn't want to share it with anybody, but you want to eat the rest later. So Ziplocs are perfect for that. No, okay, my advice is for snacks, that would be okay. So don't be putting the rest of your lunch in a Ziploc bag, but half a cookie or something like that to eat later
Things
on.
that can't be crushed. Yeah.
Right.
Right,
Yeah. Well,
right.
I've crushed a few, but I try and keep it
Yeah.
towards the top of my bag. I have noticed, since I have this loungefly issue, that I can only put so much in there. So it's in there very systematically, and you can only fit so much in there.
But they're bigger than they look.
They do actually hold quite a few, and especially the
Ooh.
ones that have an extra pocket on the front. The ones that don't have anything but the main pocket kind of irritate me. So I don't have very many of those. I don't have that many, period. I was at an appointment today, and the lady noticed my lounge fly, and we started talking about it. And she's a huge lounge fly lover. And she said, "Yeah, I have 50." And I was like, "Oh, I don't quite have that many. I have
Wow.
what the number is, and we probably shouldn't put a number on it, but I do not have 50. I know that for sure because they're all in this room. So I have 15-ish.
50 is a lot, but hey, more power to you. But my
Yeah, and
girls
she was
can
like,
get it a
I just came
ton.
back, so myself inside. She was like, like I'll be reaching out. So, but anyway, all that started over my Loungefly, and then she commented on my shirt because they're also Harry Potter lovers and they want to go to Universal on their next trip. So anyway, obviously, because we can take care of all that for you.
Right.
Speaking of kind of fun things that are summer, also that we haven't touched on, we did, was that just last?
I think, yes, it was. It was last week.
Mhm.
Is today officially anyone can get your Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party tickets. So whether you're staying on property or not, and if you need help with those, we definitely can help you. I am highly looking forward to it this year. Of course, I have to wait all the way to the end of September, but at least I get to go.
August 15th.
Yeah.
It's going to be hot. We're trying to figure out costumes that will, be fun, but, will be appropriate for the weather too. Because we can't not have something, even if it's t-shirts, we have to figure that out. Because I don't know, you're not obligated to dress up for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, but it sure adds a whole lot
But it
of
is fun,
to
and
it.
there will be lots of even adults dressed up. My daughters and I are having the same discussion because we will be at Mickey's Not So Scary on Friday night, and then we board Fantasy the next day for a Halloween on the High Seas cruise. So that means we would need them, but I'm like, are we gonna wear them in the parks and then wear them? No, we're not. So we've come up with two different threesomes.
No laundry for you?
Yeah, I just really doubt it. And then we were having a hard time like narrowing it down to like one groups, and we had made it to two. So I was like, we're just doing them both. So
Fun.
both the girls were happy with that. So that's what we're rolling with.
2 costumes. I love it.
So it'll be cute to see. Well, I think it'll be cute to see because it's my family. What we are this year, last year, the girls and I were Minnie Mouse, Daisy Duck, and Clarabelle Cow. And
I love
when
that.
my husband was with us, he was Mickey. He will not be with us at either. This year it is a girls only trip. So we will be a threesome and one character 3 times.
I guess we'll just have to see, right?
Right. We'll have to make sure that one character 3 times actually works out.
Nice.
Fun. I love it. Yeah. There's just so much to look forward to. Time is going so fast. I don't know. I've been talking about this a lot with my friends lately because of the fact that my kids are so old that there's just no, it's really hard to plan very far in advance because there are so many things that are popping up, and being such a planner, it is really hard for me to restrain myself. And so I'm totally fine doing things on my own and doing things with my friends. I'm gonna miss my kids.
Yeah.
But, and then if they can partake later on, great. And if they can't, I mean, that's, expected too, but that's a different phase of life when all of a sudden your kids can't do everything and you're still trying to do all the things. So I don't know.
Then we're the opposite with the majority of our kids. We have to plan out so far to get their 4,
Right.
including our daughter-in-law to be their work schedules to, coordinate to get their vacation time all at the same time. So I feel like we're already like planning our trips into 2024, because the girls being cast members have to put their vacation in November. And if they don't put it in, then it's unlikely that they are going to get it other times without having to trade shifts and all that kind of stuff. So just kind of an insight into your cast members, like they can't just ask for next week off. Like the answer is no.
Wow.
So yeah, so we are planning that, but obviously, Robert's a sophomore in high school, and that's just insane that our youngest is that old, and it's crazy. So I say take the trip. Like all of a sudden they're grown adults, and you're wondering how you got to this point.
I know you're feeling the same thing, Catherine.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't
like maybe it's our age, Jen. Like with Craig about to turn 50,
far behind.
and then
No, I think it's. I mean, I don't have the luxury of the two of you, like the travel, just because of my kids' activities. all of those kind of things. But sure, yeah, having a junior, a freshman, and a seventh grader. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, it's just different than when you manage
Right.
their schedules, and other schedules manage you.
Yeah,
You
we
know?
went a lot when they were young. I mean, we really
Right.
did. We're really fortunate to have done that. So it's planning
Well, I've
out a
got
little
folks
further.
telling me that it's easier when they get older too. It's just this middle,
Oh,
like late teen, early 20s is really hard, but I don't know. Maybe it's,
yeah.
I don't know, late 20s too.
I
Yeah.
know, because I'll soon have three older, and they're doing their thing too. So yeah, I think it just depends on your family and your schedule and
Yeah.
I
what
know
direction we're going multiple directions all the time.
For sure. For
I
sure.
know.
It was great. It was a
Wow,
good
So-
distraction from our crazy days.
I know it. I know. Well, I mean, I am looking forward to a trip in a couple of weeks. So if there are things that you want to see, please comment on this video, and of course, like and subscribe. Please comment on this video. Pop on over to Wizarding Wands and Mickey Ears on our Facebook group or Facebook page. And let us know, some things that you're wanting to see or things that we can drill down into, because otherwise we're just sort of making it up as we go and hoping that we're creating content that is interesting to you and what you want to see, as you're planning your trips. And things that are interesting, to us too, of course, but it's tough these days to try to figure out, well, what belongs on TikTok and what belongs on YouTube and what should we share on Facebook and what about Instagram and who wants what where. So if you give us a little bit of guidance, that would be wonderful.
Well, and also because between the three of us, we have already like so much content that I know sometimes we're like, what am I posting? Like, I don't even know what to share. So definitely if there's things that you want to see, let us know that we either have them or can get them.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other final parting thoughts for the good of the order?
I don't think so.
Well, thanks so much for chatting tonight, ladies. This is so fun. We need to do this more often.
Yeah.
And thank you all for watching, whether it's live or, whether you're watching this and repeat. We are here because of you, and we are here because we love, helping you to plan, your vacations and make the most of your vacation dollars and have a great time with what you're looking for. So thanks so much for being part of this conversation, for being part of the Wizarding Wands and Mickey Ears community. And again, please please subscribe, please send folks our direction if there's anything that we can do to help or have content out that can help them plan their trips. And until next time, enjoy the journey. Have a good night.